Okay, this video is for you if you know you should forgive someone, but you're having a hard time doing it. How do you forgive someone you don't feel like forgiving? I have a very simple hack that I think will help you, and I'll share that in just a moment. Hi, I'm Dwight Clough, and I believe that our world is messed up, but God is fixing things and we get to help. And the first step to fixing our world is fixing ourselves, and we need to find God's grace to do that. Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that this is difficult territory. You have been hurt, and you may have been hurt deeply. And I don't want to in any way minimize that or be cavalier about that. And I want you to know that God feels your pain. When you hurt, He hurts, but He also wants you to heal. But an important part of that healing process is forgiving the person or persons who hurt you. So, how do you do that? How do you forgive someone you don't feel like forgiving? Here's how we're going to do that. We're going to find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted for maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes. You'll pause the video, you'll share something with God, and then ask Him a simple question. After that, you'll wait. You'll wait for a couple minutes to give God time to speak or time to bring something into focus for you. When He does, it will become easier for you to forgive. You may have to repeat this process more than once before all the barriers to forgiving are removed. Later in the video, I'll explain some other important things that you need to know. So you might want to pause the video, get yourself situated, and when you're ready to do this, come back. Okay? Ready? Think about the person that you need to forgive. Think about what that person did, and when you have that clearly in focus, complete this sentence. Father in heaven, I would forgive, but... What's the rest of that sentence? Father in heaven, I would forgive, but... Then fill in the blank. And try to be 100% honest with yourself and with God. And then after you've completed the sentence, then ask God a simple question. God in heaven, what do you want me to know? Okay? So pause the video. I would forgive, but, and then God, what do you want me to know? Have that conversation with God, wait for an answer, and when you're ready, come back. Okay, how did it go? It takes some courage and some humility to have this conversation with God. But I hope you found that courage, and I hope you found that humility. In a moment, I'll explain why this usually works, what to do if it didn't, and where to go from here. But first, let me quickly remind you that this video is part of a playlist, How to Fix Everything. I'm in the process of adding more videos to this playlist. If you want more videos like this, there's a link to the playlist in the description. So here's why this hack usually works. What prevents us from forgiving? A false belief, or more than one false beliefs. Inside, something feels true that isn't true. Maybe it feels that if you forgive, then it means that what he did to you doesn't matter. Maybe it feels true that if you forgive, injustice will prevail. Maybe it feels true that if you forgive, you're handing the power back to the person who hurt you. Or it could be any of 100 other false beliefs. So what do we do with false beliefs? We take them to God. And now this is a place where a lot of Christians do the wrong thing and end up getting stuck. They try to fix these false beliefs themselves. They try to deal with them and leave God out of the equation. But that doesn't work. We take our false beliefs to God and He replaces them with truth. This is why it's so important that we identify the belief or beliefs that are blocking us for forgiveness, and then we ask God, what do you want me to know? God removes those false beliefs that keep us from forgiving, and then we're able to hand the anger over to God and forgive the offense. But what if this process didn't work for you? If this process did not work for you, the most likely reason is that you are dealing with a hurt that ties into some other hurts, older, deeper hurts that need to be resolved in order for you to forgive. All of us have those old, deep hurts, and some of us, of course, have been hurt a lot more deeply than others. And many times when people hurt us in the present, they tie into those hurts from the past. And so God can heal, He can soothe, He can fix, He can care for and fix all of that, but it does take a little more finesse to find that healing. And I do cover this in detail in one of my books and in some of my other posts and videos, but I'll give you the short version right here. You need to focus on the hurt. You need to see what memories come into focus, come to mind as you're focusing on the hurt. Try to find the false messages that are causing pain in those memories, those things that feel true. We probably know that they aren't true, but they feel true. And then we ask God, what do you want me to know? So again, you may need to do this several times before everything gets cleared up and you're able to forgive in the present. So a couple more items, couple more things you need to know about forgiving. 1, do you need to tell the person that you forgave that you've forgiven them? Not necessarily. Sometimes that's a good idea, and sometimes that's a bad idea. If you're not sure in your particular case, I recommend you talk to a godly Christian mentor or counselor, somebody with some maturity who can help sort that out for you. Another question, should I invite this person that I've forgiven back into my life? Here, it's important that you understand that forgiving is not the same as reconciliation. Forgiving someone who hurt you fixes you, it heals you. But restoring trust is what fixes the relationship and heals the relationship. And God wants all of His children to be reconciled to Himself and reconciled to one another. But God does not expect, nor does He want you to invite an abuser back into your life. You're not a doormat, and God doesn't expect you to be. So if you're not really sure where the line is or how to navigate forward, again, I recommend talking to a godly mentor or good Christian counselor. Okay, on to comments. Mark shared this comment. Thanks for sharing, Dwight. As always, addressing the essential questions. Thanks so much, Mark. I really appreciate you. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to find those essential questions, think about them deeply, pray about them, and if God gives me something to share, I want to share those thoughts with you. And you can help me by identifying those essential questions that you want me to ponder and possibly create a video on. So anyway, I love it when you comment. It helps me make better videos. If you have questions, please throw them in the comments. Check the description in case I put any goodies there. Thanks so much. Much love. Have a fantastic week.